Well, hello everyone. Welcome. I am Average Zen, your host of Average Zen Presents. Oof. Yes, we are here once again, streaming live on a Thursday. Achievement Hunters Lodge is the program. Yeah, we do this 10 to 12 every Thursday, Central European time. This is our third installment. Of course, you can catch us on other days as well, streaming live on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 to 1 Central European time, as well as uploading content to YouTube at Average Zen. A lot of days a week, at least 5, 6, sometimes multiple times per day. We got a lot of content coming out. I hope you're enjoying it. For all those of you who have already subscribed, followed, and given us the comments and the group hugs, yes, bring it in. Thank you. All right, only if you consent. Let's get into the obligatory plugs, and then we'll get started. Of course, we have our ongoing MtG Ether Drift Play Booster Box giveaway, currently in its wrap-up phase. We got a couple of weeks left until the 14th of March when I would like to do the drawing, but that is on you guys. I need these goals to be met before we tell Power Girl to take a hike and send off those boxes to the lucky winners. We are so close, as you can see from these bars here, and we're growing every day, and I thank you so much for all of your support. For those of you that have already subscribed, followed, if you haven't entered into our giveaway, do yourself a favor. It's free. You've already done the hard work of putting up with me and hitting those like and subscribe buttons and follows and all that good stuff. So head over to our About page on YouTube, Twitch, or even X, Twitter. You can find us, the pin post there, the About section in our profiles on Twitch, as well as YouTube. You'll find a link to our Gleam.io contest widget. It's simple. It's easy. You just click and, type in your email, just so I have a way to contact you to let you know you won and to get your address or postal thing, whatever you're using, to receive these cards if you win. We don't ask a lot. It's just a thank you for everyone that supported us so far and those that will continue to do so, and all the new faces that we're seeing. So I appreciate all of you guys coming in. So what's on the docket for today? It's Achievement Hunters Lodge Day. Well, let's take a look first off and discuss the achievements we have gotten since the last Thursday. I've been banking them up to share with you, a little show and tell time, not to be confused with the card itself. So let's go to Ready to Claim Core Achievements. Let's talk about MtG Arena formats. It seems we have played 25 games of Explorer. As you know, we do a casual Tuesday game. I would recommend, if you've been building up your collection for a while on Arena, then you should check out Explorer or Historic, especially if you're an achievement hunter like myself, because you can go over here. I don't know if you're aware of this. You don't have to just play ranked. The name of the game is Play. All right, so you can go to Play and hit Historic or Explorer, and for any of these that have a format labeled and just play whatever amount of games, you just go there, pick out a deck that matches the format. If you're not sure, we have plenty of decks that we've posted for casual Tuesdays. Of course, you can always check out other deck list sites and just play a few games. Use those old cards you have. You don't have to win. You just have to have fun. Unless you're not into that. That's fine. So let's talk about Color Mastery White. Heal up. Gain 777 life over any number of games. Let's take a look at how we might construct something like that. So, Soul Warden comes in, and then we play Basking Brood Scale on turn 2, or the Mono Skillion, hopefully we get a chance to play both. And the Heliod Sun Crown. And what will happen is that, especially with doubling season out, is that when your creature here, Basking Brood-Scale or Mono Skillion, gets a counter for gaining life off of Soul Warden when they enter the battlefield, Heliod will see that and put a +1/+1 counter on Basking Brood-Scale, which will in turn make a 0/1 Eldrazi spawn, which will in turn make you gain a life, which will then trigger Heliod again. You put a +1/+1 counter on Brood-Scale. You see where this is going. If you have doubling season in play, or if you have a way to put multiple counters, like say you have 2 Soul Wardens out in play, or you have this Archangel of Thune in play, then every time that Brood-Scale makes a creature, it will trigger Soul Warden, and that will trigger Heliod and Archangel of Thune, allowing you to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, in addition to a target creature. So we'd put a counter on Monoskillion, Basking Brood-Scale, and of course, since we're putting 2 counters on it, then it will make 2 Eldrazi spawn tokens, which will then trigger more Soul Wardens, getting more counters, and you do this until you have enough Brood Eldrazi spawn that you can sacrifice them and then pay the Monoskillion cost to remove a +1/+1 counter and deal essentially infinite damage to your opponent's face. Easy peasy. As far as what kinds of games actually are counted, like can you challenge a friend to a friendly game? Can you play up against Sparky for that? The answer is unknown. I do know that you can trigger several of these achievements to pop playing against Sparky. I would venture a guess that that is one of them that will probably trigger on Sparky, in which case it should be relatively simple to get that in one go, in one game. Simply Enchanted casts 300 enchantment spells over any number of games. Notice that it's cast, not enter. So any like bounce effects like teleportation circle or things of that nature, probably not going to be your best bet. For this, just for a quick example, I'll give you a little peek here at Calyx Guided by Fate deck. This thing is almost entirely enchantments. As you can see, we have very few cards that are not enchantments. And this Mothlight Processionist, excellent card at getting out multiple enchantments, as it gives your enchantment spells Convoke. And then there is also another way you could go about this. If you want to build a 60 card deck, we won't change menus here, but we will take a look at the Kami of Transmutation. Let's take a look. And this says, when it enters or leaves the battlefield, choose one. Each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, or each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an enchantment in addition to its other types. If you played a full play set of this, or were able to bounce it with a teleportation circle, or any other number of means, such as like a Displacer Kitten if you're playing Azorius or something along those lines, then then it becomes trivial to cast or play a number of enchantment spells. Let's continue on. Color Mastery White. Ooh, shiny. Control 12 or more artifacts and or enchantments at the beginning of your end step. So that it counts enchantments or artifacts. I have had great success doing this even on the standard ladder. There we are. So how does this work? Well, it revolves around Oko, Simulacrum Synthesizer, and Doubling Season. And all we have to do to get this to going is have a Simulacrum Synthesizer out and a Doubling Season out, and then we'll get double the tokens that are made from Simulacrum Synthesizer, and then that Oko will come into play if doubling season is out, before you cast them, with 6 counters. So you hit -5, and if you have even 2 simulacrum synthesizers in play, then all of a sudden things get crazy, because the doubling season sees that and says, okay, so for each one that's coming into play, we're actually making 2, and it becomes an exponential. They all see each other, so you get a chain reaction of the simulacrum synthesizer sees the first one, makes double the tokens from doubling season, and then the second one comes in, makes double the tokens, so on and so forth. I have done like over 1,000 damage because I've had like hundreds of simulacrum synthesizer constructs on the battlefield at once. As long as you survive to the end of your turn with that, you will get the achievement. Let's move on to the blue ones that we've unlocked this week. Card advantage, draw 2,500 cards over any number of games. And then we get Riel, which says whenever you discard one or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. And then we can do something like Monument to Endurance, which is a new card. You can also do something like Brass's Tunnel Grinder. That is a one that allows you to pitch all the cards in your hand and then draw that many +1, which then Rio will see, and he'll be like, oh, you discarded all the cards in your hand. Well, how about you draw that many cards? And if you're going for max card draw, then you absolutely want to be pitching multiple cards in hand. You want to essentially wheel your hand, which is Brass's Tunnel Grinder's forte. You'll draw more cards off Monument Endurance. We'll go Historic, Sire of Insanity. Now you can see we got a couple of those. I would recommend 4. And then Riel, well, 1, 2, 3. And it is a demon, so notably, Unholy Annex will draw you extra cards every turn off of that. You get the picture. If you're discarding your hand and then drawing that many cards every turn, then you're going to run out of cards in your library. So you're going to want something like Midnight Clock, which will shuffle your library back into, or your graveyard back into your library. You could also do something like Finale of Revelation, which also has the same effect. That's how I would go about doing that in a purposeful manner. The Surprise Attack. This is one we got recently playing our Samut, the Driving Force deck, because it doubles. We had token doubling effects, and then we had creatures that came from like Elspeth. Let's see if we can show you a good example of how you might accomplish that. Let's take a look at a red-white deck, or you know what, even a Naya deck. A Naya deck would be good. Let's go decks. We'll go Historic. Let's see. Urbrask's Forge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anointed Procession. Well, we got one of those. How about Parallel Lives? We got one of those. Okay. Ozier is also another chance. We have yet to craft a Mondrak, so don't mind me. I'm just showing you an example of all the token doublers that we have. Of course, doubling season. And then we have stuff like Chandra, Flamecaller. Create 2 3/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. We also have Elspeth, Sun's Champion, that makes 3 1/1 white creature tokens. And if you are able to give them haste somehow, like say Enduring Courage, that's the one. Oh, she's not a Planeswalker. You always forget that. There we go. Then they all get haste, and then you'll get double tokens. So if you get a few token doubling effects, and you even cast 1 Elspeth Sun's Champion, then the doubling season will double that up to 6 tokens, and that will do the trick. And all you have to do is attack with them. Arcane Assault. How would I go about doing that? Cast 6 or more spells in a turn. Something that's really good at drawing cards and refilling your hand and getting lots of mana would be like a Tatiova Benthic Druid deck. Yeah, so whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. And you can play some creatures. The Great Hens will draw you some more cards. Season of Gathering will draw you more cards, and you got plenty of mana, hopefully, because you're running stuff like Ashaya will get you more and more lands. They're all forests. All your stuff is forests. Mythweaver Pock will get you more and more lands. So there's so many ways to get multiple lands. You get a ton of card draw coming in. You have something like Spelunking in play. Those all come into play on tap, so you're drawing, and you're just able to continually play card after card after card, assuming you're not just drawing all lands. Let's take a look and continue on down into the color Mastery Green. Creature Power. Tap 100 creatures for mana over any number of games. Well, that's easily done in an elf deck. In fact, we have the perfect deck for that. Dionis Brawls. And how's this going to work? Well, Dionis is a unique elf. That's it. Elves you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. This ability triggers only once each turn. And so what happens is we would play Dionis, hopefully with a board of elves. If you play Elvish Mystic or any one of these mana dorks on turn 1, then by turn 2 you have 3 mana, so you can cast 2 more or 3. Let's say by turn 4 you should have enough mana dorks out there if you get lucky. Assuming all of them are 1-drops, we have quite a few 2-drop mana dorks as well, like the Incubation Druid, Paradise Druid. There's also really big ones like where is he? Rishkar allows you to put +1/+1 counters on guys, and any creature you control with a +1 counter on it gets to tap for mana. And where is it? Enduring Vitality. It gives that ability to all of your creatures, as does the spell Cryptolith Rite. That's a 2-mana enchantment. Cryptolith Rite says creatures you control have add 1 mana of any color. Alright, really, really big. Cast 200 creature spells with power 4 or greater over any number of games. That, you just gotta play a big stompy deck and ramp. That's all you gotta do. 200 creatures is not a lot over any number of games. So, mana ramp into big stuff. That's your best bet for there. Let's continue on. Land Ho. Put 2 or more lands into play in a single turn 100 times over any number of games. Well, that deck we just looked at, Tatiova, easily done. Because we're running so many effects that put lands into play in that one, including Mythweaver Pock. That's a good one. Because Tatiova will draw you into the lands, and then Mythweaver Pock, where'd you go? Says, whenever 1 or more non-token lands you control enter, for each of them conjure a duplicate of it onto the battlefield. This ability triggers only once each turn. Or something like Intis Restoration lets you search up 2 basic lands, or possibly 3 if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, and put them directly onto the battlefield tapped. Of course, you get things like Cultivate, Classic, and where is my favorite one? Oh, where is it? Harrow is not Harrowings. There we go. Harrow. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield. Notably, it does not say tapped. So that is amazing. In fact, I think it's probably better than Interest Restoration in a lot of cases. Probably better than Cultivate in a lot of cases. So I'm going to get rid of the Cultivate. Classic though it may be. Alright, so that's going to bring us to, I think, What are we going after first today? Exile 150 creatures over any number of games. Now, notably, a creature, in order to be a creature and not a creature card, has to be in play. I think we want... exile, target, creature. We have the Farewell, we have the Sunfall. What you call it? Okay, yeah, I don't know why we're not running Swords or Path. Let's run in Swords and Path. What is it? Perilous Snare? Is also a good one. That's an artifact. Well, let's take a look at Seal from Existence. There it is. That's one with Ward. Ether Drift. Not on Ride's End. Alright, Ride's End. There we go. Normally I wouldn't be running so much spot removal, but we don't have a whole lot of board wipes that exile. So let's get rid of the Grave Pact. I don't think that's doing us any good here. Let's get rid of the Solitary Study and try it like that. We need like 2 more creatures in exile in order to get there. And we've got plenty of exile effects running in our Oops All Kaya deck. And Not on My Watch, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Sunfall, Blot Out, Skitherix, the Blight Dragon is going to try to poison us out. Wonderful. This could be a quick game. Alright, we did get a Not on My Watch in opening hand. That's good. Alright, almost. Oh, and we got a Kaya, Bane of the Dead, repeatable exile. I like it. Alright, and then they come out and give Skitherix Haste, and yeah, wonderful. And they poison us out because playing as Commander was intended. You know, you take 10 damage and you lose. Wonderful. But we don't mind because we have met our goal for the day. We got there. Achievement completed. Journey to Nowhere. Excellent. Yes. We did it. Let's see what we've earned for our efforts, if anything. All right, claim it. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this has been educational and entertaining. As always, love one another. Be cool. Don't be a jerk. Have fun playing Magic the Gathering.